I mean, I hope that people just find it to be like a worthy entry in the franchise, right? And that it has a special, like, long-lasting impression on them. Like,
Oh, stop! Wait.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hola, Jesús.
I'm very excited to talk to you guys. We know that Scream is one of the most important franchises in horror film history. The mask and the Ghostface costume are iconic elements that can be seen every Halloween. But do you remember the first time you saw one of the Scream movies or the first approach you had to the franchise?
I mean, for me, I was 4 years old, trick-or-treating for the first time, and every other kid on that block was wearing a Ghostface costume and scared the hell out of me. Made me a scaredy cat, didn't want to watch any horror movies after that. And then when I was a teenager, I got back into it more. But if you would have told 4-year-old me that he would eventually be in a Scream movie, he wouldn't have believed you. Like, he would have been like, no, too scary. Why would you do that? But yeah, no, that was kind of my first exposure was at 4 years old.
I feel like I don't remember, like, I remember vaguely when I watched the first 3 movies when I was like 11 or 12. And then I kind of like stepped away from horror movies, but then when I heard about the new Scream being made, I went back and I rewatched them, and I was so impressed by how they hold up.
Yeah.
You know, like that you watch them now, and even though the first one was made 25 years ago, it looks so good. Everything looks so good. It's so well done. The camera work, like the scares, the story, the dialogue, everything. Yeah, the soundtrack, everything is so good that it's timeless. And I feel like that's why this franchise is still alive. The attacks were all on people related to the original killers.
I always knew who Ghostface was, and I always knew about the Scream movies because of Drew Barrymore and Nev, but I only saw the movie just a few years ago for the first time at a friend's birthday party, and yeah, I think that was the first time I saw it, but I loved it.
First time I can remember was I was probably around 8. My brothers were just awful to me growing up, and they were always like scaring me and like forcing me to watch all the films they were watching just to make fun of me and scare me, and so they made me watch Scream, obviously, and then I had nightmares about it, but then I was very intrigued by Ghostface, and I somehow decided to be Ghostface with them for Halloween one year, but then I rewatched them later and really like appreciated them, I think when I was like 16 or 17, the film, and have been a fan ever since.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
I watched it as a kid with my dad. He was big on showing me films that he thought were very influential and showcased great filmmaking, and Scream was certainly one of those.
My first time watching the film was as we were shooting the film. I had not seen Scream prior, and I remember sitting there going, oh, this is a big deal.
Oh, this is a pretty good movie.
This is a really...
I see why there's 5 of these.
This is scary. This is funny. Oh no, I hope I don't mess it up.
You didn't. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Truly remarkable.
Marley, it's amazing to see you back as Judy, and that once again, it's important to take down Ghostface. So I would like to ask you, what is your fondest memory of working on the previous Scream films, and what does it leave you with coming back to this franchise after so long?
I have to tell you, I just love putting that uniform on. the police uniform, the cop wear, my badge, my holster, and now I'm the sheriff, so I get to wear the hat. No, honestly, it was very, very cool to be able to play, a woman of the law in Judy's own way. Just the first time around, I think it was just the fun balance of comedy and suspenseful moments that I enjoyed, and obviously this iconic cast, and being a part of this franchise that I appreciated so much as an audience member. I just felt very, very fortunate to be a part of it. And then coming back, just to be able to play a character again that you played 10 years prior was also a real honor and challenge, and something I really enjoyed.
Melissa, you say that each of the new characters is tied to the characters of the past. But between Neve, Dave, and Courtney, who do you think helped you the most to enter fully into the Scream universe?
I feel like they all did. David was there first with all of us from the beginning, and he was like our uncle. You know, like he was like the cool uncle. He would hang out with us. He gave us like a painting class. He told us lots of stories. He's just the sweetest and most generous person ever. So he kind of welcomed us all into the franchise. And then Nev and Courtney came, and they were also just like so down, so ready to come back,
inviting
so
us out
happy.
to dinner and stuff, and like just being, they didn't need to be as nice as they were, and then it was incredible.
Yeah, they were all very excited to come back, and they were so nice to all of us and told us many stories, and it was beautiful.
You're all in danger.
Mom?
Well,
Dylan, we've seen you in different horror projects, and it was a pleasant surprise to see that you will be joining to the new cast of Scream. But how exciting is to be part of a classic franchise like this? How did you receive the news that you would be playing Wes?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I very actively wanted to be in the movie. So when I found out, it was just so exciting. I was hoping for that call, and getting the call that it was official. It's always a really good feeling, but particularly for this, it was a great feeling. But yeah, I mean, like it's different because, I mean, the other horror things that I've done aren't part of already existing franchises, and they weren't things that I was already a fan of. That's what sets this apart, is how much this franchise means to me, and then getting to be a part of it and add myself into the universe is crazy. So yeah, I mean, it's I think it's the most excited I've been about a release. I'm so excited for this to come out next week. It's gonna be awesome.
they always come back. The killer is a part of something in the past. This one just feels different.
Well, Mason, I think that even though you were working on a horror movie, there must be a certain amount of fear when you're filming a story like Scream. But who would you say is the most easily scared member of the cast on the set?
Mikey. Or Sonia. Sonia's easily
Also Sonia,
spooked.
if you say my yes. Sonia's easily spooked.
But Mikey's more scared.
Actually, Mikey was the one making us watch those foreign
You're
horror
right.
films. Mikey's probably the hardest to scare.
Sonia is the easiest to scare.
Oh, I don't know. Sonia does get scared pretty easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I do remember that on one of the first days, we all hid and scared Dylan, and he got pretty scared. So I think all of us have a jump in us. Yeah.
I think something incredible about this film is that in terms of the audience, it also embraces those new generations that will surely know Scream from you. But how would you like the audience to remember this film?
I want them to remember it as the one that kind of, brought the franchise back and kind of set a new bar for a new generation. I think it's such a great timeless franchise that keeps moving on with the times as horror progresses. I think it's a movie franchise that makes horror fans out of people. So yeah, I want this to be what the dream of dreams is, to make this one what the first one was for people in the 90s. I don't know if we'll quite hit that. That one's a classic, but let's just hope we come close.
Yeah, I feel like we're not trying to replace anything.
No.
We just want this movie to be loved and for a new generation to fall in love with it and continue to like join the fandom of the franchise.
Yeah, it's a very welcoming, like you wouldn't expect it, but the horror community I've found is so welcoming and so nice.
So loving.
They're covered in fake gore all the time, but they're so accepting and cool, and couldn't be happier to be a part of this.
I mean, I hope that people just find it to be like a worthy entry in the franchise, right? And that it has a special, like, long-lasting impression on them, like the original films have done, and that this holds up with all of them, and particularly the original, that it feels worthy of being in people's favorites list. Yes, if that answers your question.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Okay. Yeah.
I think too, you want people to come away feeling that they've gone on this thrill ride. You know, you want it to be an experience where they were thoroughly entertained. You know, we want screaming, we want laughing, we want crying, we want making out. We want all of it. We want our audiences to experience all of it in the, just under 2 hours.
Yeah, whether people saw it in 96 is when it originally came out, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Whether people saw it in 96 or whether people are seeing this Scream movie for their first time, either way, hopefully people leave the theater feeling the way that the original made people feel when they saw it. Whether you're already a fan or whether you're a new fan, like, hopefully you just have that feeling when you leave the theater. So that'd be awesome.
Ooh, that's a good question.
In a sense that it paid respect to a film and franchise that they respected so much as fans. I feel like this film is nothing without the people that have supported Wes and his original vision throughout the years. And if they can remember this movie as one that pays its respects and does proper homage, then I'd be happy.
Yeah, and to the new fans who, to your point, maybe haven't seen the first 4 films, I hope that they see themselves in the film.
That's right.
And that we are an accurate representation of our audience.
That's the goal.
Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. Congratulations for the movie, and take care.